Before we begin, thank you very much to Evolto for joining the Patreon campaign. Thank you very much for the help. Thank you very much for the support. This comes at a great... I'm going to tell you right now how much I appreciate my Patreon people. I woke up this morning to discover that due to the power flickering as they continue to repair the grid in my area, something burned out on my computer. Wasn't the monitor, I switched them, it still didn't work. Wasn't the graphics card, switched them, still didn't work. The only conclusion, it still booted up, and I could tell it was running programs, because my RGB was working. The only thing I concluded was the motherboard. And because my components are now like 6 years old and were due for replacing anyway, the processor is not compatible with current motherboards. So, yeah, I'm very thankful for my patrons right now. I'm probably going to have to recoup the costs a little bit with a eBay sale once everything's back up and running or such. I'm not going to do like a GoFundMe or anything. If you want to help out, there's a Patreon link, of course. There's also a Ko-fi link in the description, so you can donate one time. But it's not required. It's not required. The parts are bought. The computer will get fixed. I'm just owing a lot of money right now, that's all. But we'll work through it, and we'll all get it sorted. But for now, we have to do a news roundup, which is here at the toy shop, because obviously my main system is down, which is probably why there isn't a proper thumbnail on this news roundup, because I don't have the template for it here. But we must keep grinding no matter what. So, let's begin with something really surprising. So, Naruto is getting a crossover with Transformers. I almost called this. Someone in the last Q&A asked, like, if they would pull, like, Beast Wars Wolfang and some of those kind of, like, bestial molds to do a Naruto crossover where he turns into Kurama. No, I called the Tigatron mold. I was close. I was very, very close. They have actually gone with the Cheetor mold instead, because this is deluxe sized. Comes with effect parts like his Rasengan. I don't watch Naruto, so keep in mind, I might mispronounce a lot of these. He's also got a second figure with him that is a total surprise, because it's a brand new mold for Gamakichi. And that one is, yeah, it looks very Beast Wars Spitor. Like, if that mold was retooled, that could absolutely be a Beast Wars Spitor at core class. Surprising. Now, the Kurama looks really good. And it looks spot on, so they did great there. I love the packaging that looks like a scroll. That's a really clever way of packaging the figure. Also, here's why I realize I hate the accessory burrito modern toys come with. I want to see all the parts I get. So it's good to see that all the accessories are there too. Yeah, it's just a really neat set. I'm not big on Naruto, so I'm probably not going to get it. But I do think it is a very cool set of figures for fans of Transformers and Naruto, and I do think, yeah, it has exciting possibilities for the brand. We're going to talk about those possibilities sometime later this week. For now, it's a really, really cool set, and it's cool to know that anime is a realm that Transformers Collaborative can expand to now. Like, now the ceiling has been broken. All right. We got better shots of the Missing Link Sunstreaker prototype, so we get a nice, good look at it now. Looking fantastic. So, for those who don't know, because we'll have to remind a lot of people, the very first toy done for Diaclone Car Robots, the spin-off line that became the original G1 Transformers, the very first figure ever done for that was Sunstreaker. So it is historically important for that toy to actually be released. Also important to note, Sunstreaker is one of those molds from Generation 1 that, to our knowledge, no longer exists. There has never been a reissue of Sunstreaker. So this is a really important piece to get out there, both historically and, you know, in a little bit of way, necessity, because it actually fills the slot a G1 Sunstreaker would take up. Very, very cool choice. Very, very fun looking choice. He looks like he's doing a good job. The articulation is there. It's going to be awkward because it's G1 proportions, but it does look good. I'm looking forward to seeing it in color. and getting like official photos so we can see just how much movability it has. So remember those retro G1 listings that we couldn't quite figure out if they were G1 reissues again or whatnot? Turns out they are retro carded deluxe Transformers. And yeah, like even if this is small size deluxes, it looks like a gigantic card. So we're getting Bumblebee, and interestingly enough, it's the Volkswagen mold, done in cartoon accurate matte yellow and black windows. Not cartoon accurate, toy accurate. This is the whole thing. So like you look at Bumblebee's color layout here, it's all based on the original toy, right down to the all black arms and no painted eyes. That's an interesting detail. Now, this is a little bit upsetting in that if it is going for a toy accurate release of the character, they needed to use the Goldbug version of the head. I know it is not quite accurate to how G1 Bumblebee's head design really looked. You know, you can see it right there. It's got the faceplate and the visor. The Goldbug at least has something akin to that. It would have been much closer than this. You know, I would have loved them to have gone completely toy accurate with the head. I feel like it is a very big lost opportunity. I think the most I glean and gain from this is knowing that Volkswagen mold, apparently Hasbro still has the license, so they can still use it. Come on, Glyph. Come on, Glyph. But to go with it, they're also releasing a Gears. Now, we've seen this head mold used for the G1 GoBot Smallfoot version of the toy. Now we are getting to see how it looks on Gears properly. You know, Mysterion fans, unite. Here's your day. Yeah, and it just looks like a nice, you know, or I still want to say cartoon. It looks like a really good toy-accurate edition of Gears, and I think it's a more interesting way of reusing these molds for like these retro-style releases. I'm convinced that Gears is going to shelf warm while Bumblebee is eaten up in droves because it's the Volkswagen mold and it's Bumblebee, of course. Cool release idea, though. I'm actually kind of curious as to what else they could release in that style. How many other toys out there have toy-accurate heads they can use? Okay, so before we get into the licensed Transformer section of the news, we're going to go over a little bit of Transformer 1 stuff because a lot of background concept art and character art has actually been released, giving us some really good, well-lit looks at a lot of these characters. Something else that got shown off on social medias was the transformation sequences. A big deal about a lot of the designs in the movie is that they are designed to actually work as Transformers. There's no, like, mass shifting parts appearing out of nowhere. Like, they are designed to look like they, you know, to actually be able to transform without any apparent cheating, which is a really cool design take, you know. And this just gives us a really good look at the production style and better looks at some characters you might not have gotten a good look at, like Megatron is here, Starscream in the vehicle mode, Soundwave in his vehicle mode. Shockwave, I know I didn't get a good look at his. He's based on the Fall of Cybertron design. Interesting choice. Yeah, it's just a lot of really, really cool art if you like the movie. And seriously, if you're a Transformer fan, you're going to like the movie. What are you doing? It didn't do well at the box office. We're expecting you to do better. Get out and support the movie while you still can because it's starting to get pulled from theaters. Except if you're in the UK. Apparently in Europe, it just started coming out. So, European fans, hit it. Get on it. Get on it. We need this thing to at least sequel. All right. Licensed toy news time. Jada Toys shown off something. We've seen a little bit of this before, but now we have the official shots of it. Their Hollywood Rides series is going to be doing an Autobot version of the Ecto-1 and a Ghostbusters version of Optimus Prime. Neat little crossover pack. Now, we've seen Prime in these colors before for a Masterpiece crossover. You know, so this is kind of familiar to us. The Ecto-1 in Autobot Red, that's kind of cool. That's a cool little twist on the formula. So if you're into your Ghostbusters and your Transformers, if you really like 80s sci-fi franchises, this is a pair for you. Going great with your Ecto-1, your Ectotron, if you want to have like a whole shelf of Transformer crossover stuff for Ghostbusters. Let's see what YOLO Park is up to. YOLO Park has put out their the pre-orders and the official images for their Last Night Optimus Prime. I'm curious that anything Last Night is getting produced because that movie bombed. But it is, for a lot of people, this is a cool looking Optimus Prime design, and to get it in fully articulated YOLO Park, over detailed and like ludicrously detailed style in their AMK Pro line, this is going to do it for a lot of people. This is going to do it for a lot of people, especially because this is one of those Prime designs that is nigh impossible to do as a transforming figure. So yeah, like if you just want a good representation of it, this is the best you're probably going to get, short of buying like a super expensive statue. I believe I saw that it had the Nemesis head, if we can get a good shot at it. Posability, obviously great. Detail and paint, obviously great. Can I get a shot of the Nemesis head just to confirm? Please. Please, YOLO Park. Yes, it's a very nice base. Really? Really? Through all of that? Hang on. Hang on. I saw it in there somewhere. I think it was in the jumping pose. Yeah, like... there's the corrupted head. Why didn't you show that? Why is there no good shot of that, YOLO Park? Okay, so you get Nemesis Prime out of this as well. Kind of weird way to do it. But yeah, one for the fans of the late Bayverse. All right, we're gonna check in on Super7 now because they've got a couple things to show us. Number one, they have announced the play set for the Arc for their reaction figures. Sorry, I'm confusing it with the game that's not coming out. I kind of have a hatred of Super7. I find a lot of their stuff over expensive for what little you get. Some of it works for me. I really like their Playmates Ninja Turtles toy line because that's exactly what I wanted someone to do with those original toy designs. I found the Transformers ones extremely lacking in articulation at times, feeling like not great as action figures, and frankly, just weird choices. I can't get a Hot Rod in that design, but I can get Bonsai Tron. So this is just them showing off like, hey, you're going to get a reissue of the Optimus Prime and the Megatron we already did, and you're going to get this display base that looks like the Arc. Now, the backdrop is just a printed piece of cardboard. It is reversible with the original package artwork on the back. And then, yeah, there's just a mountain terrain out front for your Autobots and Decepticons to be displayed on. This is $70. I believe actually $75 if I remember right. Yeah, 75 bucks. So let's examine this. Let's examine this. If a Reactivate figure goes upwards of $20, which is ludicrous for how small and simple those toys are, round about 20 bucks. So that means the set itself, the base itself. I don't have a shot of just the base. The base itself for a piece of printed cardboard, and what I guarantee is a vacuum-formed cheap piece of plastic like a Beyblade dish. Yeah, they're charging 35 bucks for that. That's absurd. That is absolutely absurd. No, I can't support this in the least. I would advise you against this. This is dramatically overpriced, especially if you have Optimus and Megatron already. You're paying for figures you don't need, which makes this even worse. I think I would have rather it come out on its own with no extra figures attached, or with exclusives. Like, give me repaints of Optimus and Megatron. Give me, two molds that you have, give me two characters that you got from like repainting other molds. Something, anything. Not this. This is a terrible package. Speaking of, Super7 is also doing the VHS release for their Megatron Ultimates figure. So these deluxe figures they produce are their Ultimates line, trimmed down of all of their accessories and packaged for mass market stores. So you'll be able to find this in Walmart, but it is basically Ultimates Megatron without any of the additional accessories. So it's a very basic, kind of bland figure. I'm not, again, like I said, I'm not thrilled with the build behind these. I'm not thrilled with the plastic quality. I'm not thrilled with the articulation level. It feels like they didn't really try to put in a lot of it. There's a lot of limitations working in an animation accurate Transformer design, but it can be done. Yeah, suffice to say, I don't like Super7. Go figure. Flame Toys putting out something way more interesting. In this, like, block of licensed Megatrons we are getting. Their 4-eye model Beast Megatron is ready for pre-order and fully painted and detailed and designed, and it looks absolutely fantastic. It is an absolutely mental reimagining of Beast Wars Megatron. I love the tri-blade fusion cannon or railgun look that he's got to his tail arm now. That's a really cool change. It's a really, really cool design. I wish they had good close-up photos instead of wasting half the space like they did here. Now I've heard iffy quality about these. I've built like 3 of them. I built 3 different 4-eye model kits for Transformers, and those went off without a hitch. I have had a friend attempt to build 2 of them, and both of them broke in assembly. Like, literally, his Autobot Megatron literally crumbled as he was building it. Parts of it literally crumbled. So, yeah, iffy on quality here. But if they've gotten their stuff together, and if it's better made than the previous models, looks like it's going to be fantastic looking on your shelf. We'll also look at Blockies, who showed off the colored version of their upcoming Action Edition Megatron. Looking absolutely fantastic. I don't know what it is about these licensed figures where, like, Megatron is, like, has to be one of the first shots they fire. It's a really, really cool looking figure. You can dismantle parts to have that half assembled look a lot of people like for their model kits, which is a cool little touch. Beyond that, it just looks like a really well detailed, well proportioned and articulated Megatron. You know, right down to having his throne. It's a really, really cool set. We've talked about Blockies on this page. You're going to hear more about them very, very soon. Soon as all my stuff is back up and running. And yeah, it's just a really, really cool thing. It's a really, really cool set to see. I'd love to see that they're expanding what they're doing, and looking forward to seeing them do more. Let's get into the weird stuff for the week to round us off. The New Zealand Mint is producing brand new coins for Transformers. This time they're ditching the whole idea of coins, and this kind of looks more like badges without pins on the tag. Like, it looks like pins without the actual pin part on the back. But these are based on the heads of various Transformers. They do have currency values. You can pay for goods in New Zealand with Transformer heads. Fascinating. They are silver, by the way, so there is that. You know, and they come with these little protective cases and all that, which looks fine. They're doing Optimus as well. Looks good. And there's the colored versions, if you want colored versions, which are apparently lower. They're still silver, but they are lower in monetary value. God, imagine like being at a table and having to flip a coin. You pull an Optimus Prime out of your head to do it. And they're producing a medallion token kind of coin for Transformers 1 as well, which is, again, weird choices, but kind of neat. Kind of neat for you coin collectors out there. And to wrap us off, Reese is doing these blind bag plush keychains. And these look fun and cute. So on the Decepticon side, you got Soundwave, Megatron, and a very happy Shockwave, which, if Shockwave's happy about something, run. Run. And then you've got a cocky-looking Bumblebee, a smirking Hot Rod, and then Optimus Prime by himself. You also have this weird 7th one that they're showing, which seems to be an Optimus Prime with some extra flourish to the design. Not familiar with the origin of that one, but it is another one available that I presume you can pull from these. Yeah, it's just a cute little set released in China, so again, good luck getting them, but we've had things like this in America, so not a huge loss, I don't think. And that's going to do it for the news roundup for the week. We actually have some really, really fascinating stuff dropping. You know, even if I'm not into Naruto, I'm really, really kind of excited to see, like, what possibilities that brings to the table for collaborative. There's a lot. We're going to talk about them later. For now, thank you everyone for watching, and as always, I will see you next time.